So what I will do is I will try to share my whiteboard first. Yes. Yes. So two things we are having here. So today we will see the two things. So one is so I don't know why it's stopping. Why stop working? Yes, no problem. Yes. Okay. So my whiteboard is not working properly. So what I will do is I will stop the steering. Mm, yes. What I will do is I will directly go the software. So I will show you each and every step how to create the program and how to execute. Okay. So for that one, so we require. So I will try to share my entire screen. Yes, this one. Yes. So you may see that here we are having a keel. So this is the keel. Okay. 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 So this is the keel IDE where we can be able to write the program, embedded C program. Okay. So I will take one simple example, and I will try to build the program. Okay. So you can able to see here. So these are the menu things we are having. The file, edit, view, project, debug, flash, peripherals, tools, SVC, Windows and help. So if you click the file, we can able to open a file, we can able to create a file like that. So edit is nothing but in order to do the editing in a file, whatever the file we are going to be creating in order. Next. So this will give the view. So you can able to see here, if I remove this one, you can able to see status bar is gone. So this is the status bar we are having. So this last thing which is going to be showing here, I may share this one. So this one is called as the status bar. Okay. So this status bar is gone. You can able to see now. So view status bar. See view file toolbar. Everything build toolbar. See here how it is happen. So we can able to have the different views. So we can able to put again. So for the view purpose, we are having a like this. Next, here, this is the project, creation of the project, very important thing. We will come here. So next, we can able to debug the program. So if I written a program, I need to go for the step by step of the program. So that can be done by using this tab. So there you can able to see as a start stop debugging. You can able to see here step by step. Now we are not having that one. It's not highlighted. Now it is in the gray. So we will look at that one. How we can able to go further step by step and we step over. So if I'm having any loop, so I need to come out of the loop. So then we can use this one, step over like that, like that. We can able to stop running all those things. So Flash, actually, so we are going to be creating a program. So my whiteboard is not working properly. Then I can able to draw that one. So let me try one more time. So if it is works, then I can able to explain clearly. So so I will try one more time. So if it is works, it's fine. Yes, now it's working. But if I open the thing, it goes. I don't know why it's happening like this. Okay, anyhow, so it's not working fine. So that's why, yes. So first thing is first. So first we will write a program. Okay, then we will compile that program. Then it will create a output file. Then so that output file is nothing but so hex file. You can able to say object file, hex file, all those things. So that will be generated in this keel. Okay. Next, after creating that hex file, we need to flash that hex file into 8051 microcontroller. So for that purpose, here we are having a flash. So download the or erase. First, we need to erase the flash memory in the 8051 and we need to download from here to that one. Okay, like that. So next peripheral. So in order to reset the CPU software reset, so we will use this one. You can able to see here setup. So most probably, so this SVC configuration versus configuration version control are used for the industrial purpose, not academic one. Okay, so there's nothing but how which version we are using. So first we will write a program. Okay, so first after that, so we will update that one. So first is going to be called as the version 1, 1.0. Second is going to be called as the second version. If we are having any update, 2.4 like that. So that version control is going to be done here. Next, so in order to show the windows, so these are the windows. In order to show the windows in the cascade, tilt, to arrange like that. So this is the thing. So you can find help here. So whatever help you require, this will be find out here. Okay, so that's how we are going to be having. So now, so what I will do is, so I will try to create a new project. Okay, so click on the project. First, click on the project, go for the new project. So then, so try to create a project, give a file name. So I will write as a test. Okay, so test already presents. That's fine. I will write as the test one. Okay, save it. So for the saving of this one, so we need to select the CPU or target. So what is the meaning of that one is to which microcontroller you are writing the program. We need to select the target device. So there are many manufacturers present here. So we can able to see here. So like Acer Labs, Atmel, next we can able to have the Cypress, we can able to have the like that Honeywell, so Hyundai, Infosys, Infonin, like that Intel. So like that we are having a different microcontrollers. Okay, microcontroller manufacturers. So we need to select from this. Okay, so we are going to be selecting so Atmel microcontroller, which is the 89C51 RD2. Okay, so which is a very similar to 8051 microcontroller architecture. So 80 is nothing but Atmel. So 8 bit. So 9C is nothing but we are going to be having a complementary CMOS circuits. That's why. So 51 is nothing but 8051 microcontroller RD2. So like that, we are having this one. So you can able to see. So you can able to see. So what are the features of this 8089C51 is going to be having? So you can able to see here description in the description. So it's going to be having a high-speed microcontroller up to 8-bit I/O ports. Is having a 316-bit timer and counter. So the memory capacity is the 256 bytes of the scratch pad RAM. So it can be able to handle the 9 interrupt sources with 4 priority levels. And it's going to be having an integrated power monitor, So in circuit programming, in system programming can be done. So it is having a 64 kilobytes of the flash on chip. So we can able to put the code in the 64 kilobytes of the on-chip flash and 1792 bytes of the on-chip XRAM. So that's going to be off-chip. You can able to XRAM is the external RAM. We can able to say that. So where we can able to do, and we are having a dual pointer SPI. So SPI communication can be done. So we will see that one. 16-bit PCA, PWM, UART, WT. So all are very similar to the 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so that's why we can able to use this Atmel 8089C51 RD2. Okay, then click on OK. Okay, so next it will give the copy the standard 801 startup code to the project folder and I'll find to the yes. So you can able to see here. Now target is going to be having something like this. Okay, so in this one we are having a startup. So if you look at into the startup, so there we are having a some keywords like this. So like this. So which is going to be representing the stack pointers, which is going to be representing the loops, all those things, keywords, all those things are going to be represented. Accumulator, SF for symbols. So what is the address? You can able to see ACC, which is going to be having a 0E, 0H, and SP is going to be having 81H. DPH is going to be having 82, 83 memory locations. So or you can able to see the symbols like that. So all the startup files is going to be given like this. Okay, next, what we require to do now is, so we need to create a file. So which is going to be having in the new, go for the new. Okay, so then write down the program. So whatever the program we have discussed so far, you need to write down here. Something like as here, hash include reg51.h. So the first thing we are going to be having. Okay, next, what we are going to be having is, so we are going to be having a void main void. So next, so curly braces. Next, so like p1 is equal to 0x 0ff 0xff 4fs like this and like this. You can able to write down the any one program. I have given a simple program. So what is the use of, what is the program which is going to be having is, so double F only because it's a 8-bit data. Okay, so what the use of this program is simply send all the ones into the port 1. Okay, so sorry, and one more thing, you need to write down a capital P1 here. Okay, so like this. Next, afterwards, save this. So you need to write down as a text one instead of text one. What we will do? Test. Write down as a first program. First program dot C. You need to do. Now you need to include the file here. So go to the source one. Go add files. So then sorry, previously I have not added that one as a .c, so that's why I will go to the location and test1.plg. So instead of that one, rename it as a test1.c. Get it there? Yes, I forgot it there. So I will write one more thing, new. Include reg 51.h. Void main void and enter capital P1 is equal to 0 capital X WF. Okay, and close. So I will save as a test2.c. Okay, I forgot that one previously, that's why. Okay, so now I will close this one. I will try to add this one. So add files. So text2.t add, close. You can able to see this is the program. Okay, now so we need to save this one. We have saved that one. So now go for here, translate the current file. Next one, build the target. Next one, rebuild the all target files. So first we need to go this one into translate. Translation means first we are going to be checking that one whether we are having any errors or not. So I have made a error. So internally I have made a error. So what the error we are going to be having is we are having it like this. So see now again check that. You can able to see that we are having a 0 errors. You can able to know, see here. So this is the checking of the translating is nothing but, so it's going to be translating as a, it's going to be compiler and it will compile and will check for the errors. If there is no errors, it is going to be given as a 0 errors and 0 warnings. Okay, so now it's okay. There is no errors. Next, we need to build that one. Build the target is nothing but, so here we are using the cross compiler. So cross compiler is a software which is going to be converting the original file .c file into 8051 compatible file or 8051 compatible hex file. So that's the use of the building. Okay, so we can able to see this one. So we will build that one. So here, build target. You can able to see here linking, and it's going to be having a data side like this. It's going to be having a code side like this. So now, and one more thing, I have forget to tell you one more thing. The one more thing is, so please, yes, you can able to see here. So here, yes, this is the how we can able to do that one, and a dot out file will be generated. A dot out file will be generated. Where this hex file is generated, so that if I know the place, I can easily upload that one. So for that one, we need to check target, go to the target, right click, options for the target one, options for the target one. Okay, so then it will give like this. So we know that the device is the 89C51 RD2. Yes, we have selected that one. Target, you can able to see here. So extal megahertz, that is the crystal oscillator. We need to tell how much megahertz the crystal oscillator is. This is a very, very important one. So we need to give as a very exact figure here. What's the exact figure is 11.0592. Okay, so don't forget this one. We need to give the crystal oscillator frequency as 11.0592. Okay, so then that code will be compatible to the 8051 microcontroller whose crystal oscillator frequency is this one. Okay, next. So we need to know the output. So you can able to see here. Select the folder where, so create the hex file. First thing, you need to tell the create the hex file. Make a tick mark here. Name of the executable is nothing but test1. Next, select the folder where you need to have this one. So whatever the folder you require, so you can able to select there. So and you can able to generate. So please tick mark this one. So what are the things we have done? So I will tell you one more time. Go to the target, go for the options for the target, then check for the first tab. Yes, we have given the target device. Next, second is go for the external 11.0592. Next, output, create the hex file, then apply, go, okay. So now, if you build again, see this one, rebuild all the target files. Then, see here, it's going to be given as a test one with a 0 and 0 errors. And we can able to get a target file. So I will show you where it is happens is, so here you can able to see here. So this is the test1.hex. Test1.hex. Okay. So this is the what we have seen. Whatever the project name we are having, with that project name, a hex file is generated. So what I will do is, I will remove this one. I will remove this one now. So in this folder, we don't have a test.hex file. You can check that. Okay. So now what I will do is, I will try to rebuild the all files. Then I will go to the same folder again. You can able to see here. It's again created. It's again created with the timing. You can able to see the time also. So this is the hex file. We need to dump this, or we need to flash this program into the 8051 microcontroller. How we can able to do? We can able to have the number of options. So there is a one software which is called as a flash. So we can able to flash by using this software. We can able to put whatever the hex file we are having. We can able to put into the microcontroller. So here we are using the one thing which is going to be called as, so this one. ISP. Actually, we are going to be using, normally we will use the flash. So here we are using one more thing, which is going to be called as, yes. Which can be called as Newton ISP utility. You can able to see here. So there, so we can be able to load the program or load the hex file, whatever the hex file we have created, we can be able to load into the 8051 microcontroller. So you need to give the number. So I will show you which number you need to give. So in the later part, so I will tell you then also. So we need to give the microcontroller part name or IC number there. So after that one, we need to give the COM port, to which COM port I have connected this microcontroller. Next, we need to go for the load file. So then we can able to have the hex file. It will directly gives the hex file, then open. So this is the hex file actually, which we need to load into the 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so then we need to update the chip. We need to press the update the chip. Then we can able to write whatever the program we have executed into the into our 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so this is how we can able to do this one. So what I will do is, so I will try to show you the 8051 microcontroller. So for that one, so let's try to give 1 second, please. Let's try to, yes. Yes, please look at here. So this is the yes. Now you can able to see me and microcontroller also. Is it okay?
Sir, one minute, no. Sir?
Yes.
Sir, you have to select your screen, sir, because of your screen is not visible, sir. It's showing only small screen only is showing, sir.
1 second, 1 second. Now?
No, sir. It's showing only small screen only showing.
Suresh?
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, all of you visible screen?
Please respond.
Sir, it's a small screen, but it's okay, sir.
Are you able to identify the parts? I will show you with my finger. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, no, okay, sir.
1 second, please. 1 second. I will try to. Yes.
Enlarge your screen, sir.
So I am sure, even though I am putting entire screen, it's not visible. It's not showing the entire screen. It's
Okay,
showing
okay, sir, no problem.
only small part. It's showing only smart part.
Okay, okay.
Okay. How we can able to do now?
No, okay, sir, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, it is possible on small screen. It is possible, sir. That's right.
Okay. So what I will do is I will show you each and every part. Or what I will do is I will share this screen. Can I share this screen? You can able to see this. 1 second. This one. Are you able to see now the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think you can able to see both my video as well as the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see my video also?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's great then. Then you can able to identify. Yes. 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 So you can able to see this. The first part we are going to be given is, so this one. So I will show you this one. So this is the power jack. So where we can able to give the 12 volts power supply. Okay. So you can able to say, so autonomous microcontroller project. If you need to build the autonomous microcontroller projects, so then you need to give a power supply. So the 8051 will work with the 12 volts. So that can be given here. Okay. Next, you can able to see. So these are the jumpers. So in order to give the 12 volts supply, you need to give this one. Next, you can able to see the next one, which is going to be given as a power supply block. You can able to see. So if any external device need to connect with the 5 volts, ground and 12 volts. So these are the three things. So one is the 5 volts, second one is the ground, third one is the 12 volts. If you need to connect the external devices, any external devices, so you can able to use these three. Next. So after that one, we are having a fourth one. You can able to see here, ULN 2803. So this is the fourth one is the IC. So which is called as a ULN 2803. So what is the purpose of this ULN 2803 is it can be give the 8 outputs. So these 8 outputs we can able to control the DC motor, stepper motors, whatever the motors we are going to be having, we can able to control by using this one. Next. So after this one, we can able to see the fifth one. So which is called as the ISP programming, in circuit programming. Okay. So we are having a, we need to have the one module. So this is the ISP. So I think you can able to watch this one, ISP. Okay. So we need to have the ISP module. So from that, we can able to program this 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so but we are not using this ISP programming. Instead, what we are using is we are using the USB. So from USB, we can able to directly download the code into the 8051 microcontroller. Next, sixth one. So this is going to be called as a sixth one. So blue thing you can able to see here. So this is going to be called as relay. Okay, so relay is nothing but in order to switch on or switch off any AC controlled devices. For example, I need to connect a fan controller. I need to build a fan controller. So by using this 8051 microprocessor, so then that AC, the fan is nothing but which is going to be working on the AC, alternate current. So in those conditions, we are using this relay. By using this relay, we can switch on or we can switch off directly, even though it is going to be working with the AC powers. Okay, so next we are having a one more switch. You can able to see here, this is the switch. So which is called as a hardware reset. If you need the reset the 8051, so then we can able to go for the hardware reset. Next, we are having a one more thing which is called as the 8. So 81 is the IC. So which is going to be utilized for the DC motor. DC motor. Previously here we are having a AC motors can be so here we can able to utilize the DC motors. Next, so ninth one. So this is the LCD display. We can display something in this LCD. Next, we can able to see this one. So 10th one. So 10th one is nothing but which is going to be having a small IC. So I need to check what is the 10th one. Yes. So yes, very important thing. So this is the RTC DS. So real time counter. So this one going to be utilized for the 11th pin is going to be utilized for the RTC. So something which is going to be having a bias battery. So in your normal PC, we are having a bias battery. So the purpose of the bias battery is it is continuously update the time, even your PC is switched on or switched off. So whatever the condition of your PC, so the time will automatically update. So that's going to be real time. So this chip and this will work as a real time things. Next, real time clocks. Next, this is going to be called as a 7-segment display. 4 7-segment displays we are going to be having. So these are the 7-segment displays. So we can able to have the 4 7-segment display. So we will use this one. Next, so 13. So 13 is nothing but USB port. So this is the USB port. From where? This is the USB port. USB port. So from there, we can able to download the program for the from the Keil software. Okay. So in the Keil software, we will write the program and we will execute there. So and we will generate the hex file. So from ISP utility, we will load the hex file into the 8051. There is a connection between our laptop or PC to the 8051 microcontroller. So this is the USB. So by using this USB and by using this USB connector, so this is the USB connector. So this is the USB connector. So by using this USB connector, so we can be able to connect this one like this. We can able to connect this one like this, and the next end. So this is the next end we are going to be having. So this next end is going to be connected to the laptop. This okay. So that's how we are going to be having. Next, we are having a 14th one. So this is going to be called as a RS-232 or serial communication. So in the previous olden days, so we don't have a USB connectors. So we are having a serial connectors. So that serial connectors in the every PC we can able to find out that serial connectors in the old days. So now, so in order to connect that one, so either we can use the USB connector or serial connector to download the program from your laptop or PC to 8051 microcontroller. So next you can able to see this is the 15th. So this is the heart of the 8051, 15th part. So here, this is the 15th part. This is the heart of the 8051 microcontroller. This is the IC. This IC is called as the 8051 microcontroller. So this IC number, so is very similar to the Atmel AT89C51. So, but the IC number which we are given here is W7-8E052DDG. W7-8E052DDG. So this is the IC number we are going to be having. So which is going to be called as a, this is the manufacturer. So Nuvoton is the manufacturer. So they so this is the 8051 similar kind. Next, if you see the 16th one, so this is the ADC, unlock to digital converter. Next, if you see the 17th one, I am not seeing the 17th one correctly. So which is the 17th one? This is the 17th one. So the 17th one is nothing but port 3.0 to 3.7. Port 3.0 to port 3.7. So there they have written as a port 3.0. Each and every pin is going to be having a one bit in the port 3.0 to port 3.7. Next, if you see the 18, so this is going to be called as the switches. So these are the switches. Next is going to be see 19. So this is the memory. So EEPROM memory. So 24CXX. So where we can able to, if the 8051 is the code which we have simulated is exceeded to the 64 kilobytes of the memory, so then we will use this EEPROM. Next, 20th one is called as a buzzer. So it will give the buzzing sound. So we will see how we can able to interface a buzzer. Next, 21 is going to be given as a 4x4 keypad. So these are the normal switches. So this is the 4x4 keypad. Starting with the 0 to, you can able to have the F like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, like that. You can able to find out the 4x4 keypad. Next, if you see the 22, so these are going to be called as the LEDs. Okay, so now what I will do is, so I will try to show you, so the initial state of the 8051 board. If I connect this one, so it will look like this. So I will show you. Yes, see here. So this is the LCD. Nothing in the LCD. So we will program that one later. Next. So these are the 7-segment display. Next. So these are the LEDs, which now they are blinking continuously. That's called as a toggling. So we've seen how to toggle the LEDs also. We have developed a program how to toggle the LEDs also. Next, you can able to see here. So this green LED will tell you the power on and power off. So I have connected this one to my laptop using USB. Okay, so this is how. Please look this one carefully. You can understand. You can be able to feel the hardware part of the embedded system. So this is the 8051 development board. Okay. So now what I will try to show you is, so I will try to show you how a program is going to be executed and dumped into the microcontroller. Okay. So what I will do is I will share my, one second. I will share. Fine. Okay, project, open project. Yes. Yes. So I will show you the first program we are discussing is how to interface buzzer. So how to interface buzzer. So what I will do is, so I will take a switch and I will connect the switch to a buzzer. Okay, whenever I press the switch, the buzzer will on. Otherwise, the buzzer will in off condition. That's the aim of the program. We need to interface the buzzer with a switch. Whenever I press the switch, the buzzer must on. Whenever I release the switch, the buzzer must off. So this is the simple program. So I think you all are watching this one. So this is the header file declaration. And so don't go for delay. So I will tell you this one. Hold here. So we will look this one. Next, we know this S bit. S bit is nothing but single bit. So the switch is connected to where? The switch is connected to P2.0. The switch is connected to P2.0. Okay. Next, where the LED is connected, the LED is connected P3.5. Okay, P3.5, we have connected an LED. Okay, next, we can able to see here. So instead of P3.5, so I will go for the P0.5. Okay, no issues in that one. Whatever the port we require, we can able to connect there. Next, if you see here, void main P2. First, I am setting the P2 as the input because the P2.0 must be work as a switch. From the switch, we are taking the input. Switch is always a input device. The purpose of the switch is whether the switch is on. If the switch is on, one will be transmitted. If the switch is off, 0 will be transmitted. So I need to make the P2, the port 2 as a input. That's why I need to send the first data as a 0xFF. all ones. 1 is nothing but input. Next, P3 port 3 must be work as a output port. But here I am connecting to the P0.5. That's why I will make this one as a 0. So port 0 must be work as a output, because in the port 0 I am connecting the LED. So that's why I will make like this one. Next, you can able to see the while program. If the switch is 0, if the switch is not connected or not pressed, what happens is the LED is going to be 0, no LED blink. So go for the switch is equal to 0. So wait for that one, delay. Again it will go further. Next, like that. Next, here we are having a yes. Yes. So here we are having a switch. So the delay is going to be given like this. You can able to see. So 1275 we have taken. So but they have taken as a 114. So this will give the delay. Okay. So first we will try to put this one and we will go to the target. So whether the what is the options for the target? See here, the device is already selected. The target is 8C51RD2. So target file. Next output will give the hex file. Okay, so like that SWT1. Next, so build the target first. So it will be compile and link. So it will show the whether errors are present or not. Next, after that one, so rebuild all target files. There it will create the hex file. So creating the hex file from SWT1. So it will create the hex file. Now connect your 8051 microcontroller kit. Okay. So next, after connecting this one, go to the ISP. Okay. Select the COM port to which the 8051 microcontroller is connected. So here I have collected the COM7. How we know which COM port I have connected? Here you can able to see we are having a 2 COM ports, but I need to select the COM7. How? So go for the Windows X and M. Then it will give the device manager. In the device manager, you can go for the ports. So there you can able to see this one: Silicon Lab, USB to UART, Bridge, COM7. This is the where we have connected the 8051 microcontroller kit. So the remaining two you can able to see this is the Bluetooth. Remaining ports are connected to the Bluetooth. So that's why we don't go for this. We will go for the COM7. How we can know that one? Go to the Windows XM. Windows XM. We can able to find out the ports and we can able to see this one. So that's why in the ISP, oh, this is you an ISP utility. Yes. Select the COM7. Next, select the part number. Whatever the IC you have given there, you need to select the part number there. Next, load file. So what the file we have taken is, we have taken the buzzer program. This one. Open. Next, update chip. So then it will show the chip is successfully updated. Then so you may listening this one. So it's continuously giving the buzzing sound. Okay. Okay. So this is how we need to do the program. And one more thing you can able to see here. Sorry, forgot to show you. Yes, this is the thing. From the SW1 P3.5, you can able to, by pressing this, see here, I'm controlling the LED. With the switch position, I can controlling the LED. This is how. So this is how the program is need to dump into the 8051 microcontroller. Okay. So next one, what I will do is I will try to go for one more program. Yes, 1 second, please. So I'm having so many programs. Yes. I will go for one more program. So this is very similar to previous one. So what I will do is, so I will try to tell you about switches. So how we can able to interface a number of switches with the number of LEDs. Okay. So previously we have taken only one switch, one LED and buzzer. Okay. Now we will take the n number of switches and n number of LEDs. Okay. You can able to see here. So this is the how we are going to be having. So hash include REG52H. This is the 8051 derivative one. So we can able to take as a 51H also. Next. So this is the how from the pin 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, we are connecting the LEDs. But in our program, in our board, so these are going to be connected to the switches actually. Okay, so that's why we can able to do this one. Next, this switches, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, 4 is nothing but LEDs. Okay, so what I will do is, so I will write down this one as the switch, SWITCH in our program, in our microcontroller. And I will do is this one as the LED. Okay, like that we need to do. Next, so here the switch pin 1 is equal to first making the switch pin as the input. So directly we can able to give the one if a particular bit I need to make as the input or output, or directly I can able to give the LEDs as a input. First, I will give the LEDs as the input. Later, I will make this LED pin as a output. Then the LED will on. Okay, like this. Okay. So what I will do is the LEDs is nothing but, so in our program, the LEDs is nothing but P0.0, P0.1, P0.2, P0.3, 4 LEDs. Next switches which have connected is P2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So I will save this one. Save. So I will copy this one, Control A, copy. I will put and I will create a project, new project. So which will be, let us take 4 switch. Okay. So 4 switch. Okay, save. Next, Atmel 89C51 RD2.
So the screen is still showing Notepad, sir.
This one. I will do this. Now you can able to see.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, I forgot to come. Yes. So now, so go for the file, new, paste here. So this is a file. So save that one. Save. I will save as a LED. Okay. Next. So go for the target, options for the target. So go for the 11.0592. Next, output, create a hex file. Okay. Next. Compile. So you can able to say the 0 as 2 warnings. There is no problem for the warnings. And a hex file is created. Now, after creating the hex file, go with the, what I will do is I will start to share my entire screen. So go for the ISP utility. Next, try to connect the board. Next, load file. So what the file we have loaded, what the file we need to load is, we need to 4 switch hex. Open. Next, update the chip. So pass chip successfully. Next. Next. You can able to see the switches. Yes, 1 second, please. I need to remove the jumpers. P2.0. Yes. Okay. So this is how the program will be dumped into the 8051 microcontroller. Okay. So with this, so we are completing the today. So tomorrow I will show the remaining interfaces, how we can able to interface the remaining things in the 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so anybody having any doubt?
So which program are you using right now, sir?
Which?